Hello, everybody, and how you all doing out there? So today, what I'm going to talk about is um, pretty much what's your memories from Yu-Gi-Oh? Because I know last time we talked about why the decks we run, and I felt kind of sentimental after doing that. So I decided to do today's talk on what do you remember about Yu-Gi-Oh? What's your fond memories from Yu-Gi-Oh? Is it a certain play that you got off, back in the day? I summoned Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon when you were little, or was it something recent that happened? What are your memories from playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Uh, what are some of my memories? One of my memories is, and also from the TV show too, we'll talk about, but uh, my favorite memory that I did in a card game was I was going against Six Sams with my Gravekeepers. And the guy wasn't used. He's like, you're playing defensive with Gravekeepers. What the heck? Oh my gosh. And I had two cards in my hand. I had Assailant and I had Guard. And because I run two Mirror Forces in my deck, I was like, oh god, this is going to be awful. I'm going to die. I drew. I got a Mirror Force. So what did he have on his side of the field? He had Shien, Shogun, Iroh. No, he didn't have Iroh. Zanji. No, not Zanji. He had some. He had the Six Samurai lockdown. That's what we'll call it. Six Samurai lockdown. He had Shogun, Shien, and something else. He had no cards in his hand. The one that we special summon. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. The one that we special summon. That's level 18. If you have another Six Samurai on the field, you can summon it. He had two of those. No, excuse me. He had one of those and a Grandmaster. You face a Grandmaster 18, 21 then, and Sheehan and Shogun. Ridiculous. And you have three cards in your hand. So what did I do? I placed Guard down. I placed Mirror Force down. I still laugh about this. He attacks with Grandmaster of the Six Samurai. Okay. Necro Valley's still on the field, by the way. So it's a 24. Flip it up. Send Sheehan back to his extra deck. Okay. Attack again. Game. Nope. Mirror Force. Boom, 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 boom. There goes your entire defensive line, and you are top decking now. Assailant. Then I got Spy out, and I won from there. But that move, I was just like, oh my gosh. And my friends and I, my friend Reggie and I, we call that the Wrath of Merrick, quote unquote, because the Gravekeepers came and they had their wrath, and they hate Six Samurai, so they had their Wrath of Merrick came. Believe me, Gravekeepers do have the Wrath of Merrick. So that's one of my fond memories. Another one is the God cards. The day Kaiba got his Obelisk the Tormentor from Yugioh on the show, I decided I'm going to get a God card because I love Kaiba. So what did I do? I found a pamphlet in a book. I think it was, I can't remember what the book was called, but I ordered some God cards for a birthday present. My grandmother ordered them for me, so I got them, and I opened them up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got the God cards. I'm freaking 12 years old and just happy as heck that I got God cards. Every time I would always bring them downstairs when the show came on, and Kai was summoning his obelisk. I'd be like, yeah. Or with Yugi summons Slifer, yeah. Or when you got Raw, all that stuff. Always had the God cards and my Exodia. My Exodia, I got pieces of Exodia throughout the years, and I made an Exodia deck. It's useless now, but I still play with it. It's not broken, but it's got Sangan 2 day a piece, 3 days a piece. But I'm not going to take it to a locals or anything like that. It's just for fun. Because I had Exodia and I just wanted to build an Exodia deck that was cheap. I'll show it to you though. It's still a fun deck. It's a stall for Exodia, so it's not one turn Exodia, by the way. That's my fun. What are the fun memories? The God cards. Yeah, and actually, come to find out, those God cards I got were legit, and they were the ultra rare. And so, like, I looked them up online. Though those are my most expensive cards, like 100 a piece, and I got for 110 all of them. Because apparently the originals from Japan, from the original Game Boy Advance, from the first edition one, expensive apparently for buyers, but you can't play them. Even though I like to sometimes, we'll just play around for fun. I got all the originals ones, the legit ones, but they're not as good as the original God cards. Come on. Um, Other fond memories. Let's think here. Oh, I can't think of it. When the day I finally, my first tournament. Now, my second tournament ever was actually my first tournament. I didn't know what that was doing, and I've only been in 2 really competitive. I've been in locals and all of that, but the one tournament I was very proud of, and it happened about. I'm not bragging, by the way. I'm just proud. Happened about a month ago. At my old school, I went back to because my girlfriend goes to her Nova still. I went back there to visit, and that's where I met her even. But I asked the president of the gaming club, Gerald, if he would allow me to participate in the tournament. He said yes. And I chose my Gravekeeper deck because it was my favorite, most honed, most reliable. And who did I go up against first? The godfather of Gravekeepers, my friend Reggie. The guy that literally taught me how to do, good, and taught me how to use Gravekeepers properly. That guy. And he taught me how to do it. He did. And I was like, oh my gosh, a mirror match for sure. I've never been in a mirror match in so many years, believe me. But I got in. I lost 2-0. First one, he won because he just had got a better hand. Second time, I could have won. I had a mental fuck up. And I still believe it. I did. Because he had Commandment, I had Visionary, and I had Descendant. I could have run over Commandment, Suicide into Commandment, and then run over with Visionary. I did not do that. I forgot to attack. Literally, I just forgot to attack. I forgot I had monster. And my dog's back, by the way, so I'm sorry. And I was so sad. I was so sad. I was beating myself up. I was like, oh my gosh, what the fudge. Because I almost beat the man that taught me how to use the deck, and that would have meant a lot to me. But, whatever. What you gonna do? So, I went to the bathroom and drank a whole bunch of water and took a bathroom break. Came back out. Next duel was against the guy before, my friend Luigi, who had dueled. I had dueled earlier that morning, and he ran Heroes. That's what I call the Hero Slaughter Fest, literally. Excuse me, I ran against Blackwings next. This guy that ran Blackwings, and that I call it the guy. I mean, I played him again with Kalutz, and he was much better. It's just he hadn't played dueling in so many years. He said since Blackwings were good, so he didn't know what. And that was a beach party in the sand. I called it for Gravekeepers, but he tried his best. He's just like, I can't do nothing with Necro Valley. I just can't, and most people can't. Older decks can't do that. Deal with that. So he just couldn't do nothing. And then came the Hero Slaughter Fest. I faced against my friend Luigi, who I had played earlier this morning. Luigi's a good friend. I really like the man. And I beat him 2-0 that morning, and he wasn't. Poor man. I know he had family problems. I feel very bad that I beat him even. But we dueled, and I got him. I beat him. And one reason I beat him was because I got Visionary out early on both duels. And I just. When Visionary comes out first, second turn, it's nails in the coffin if you don't got just an okay hand. And I beat him that way. Absolute Zero is not going to do nothing. I just discard. Visionary lives. What you going to do? Even the big black guy, I can't remember his name, but couldn't do nothing. Then, after I went 2-0 there, I faced the best hero deck, considered one of the best hero decks in the entire school. Yeah, we're literally like Dual Academy at Nova. Even though I go to Mason, George Mason now. I still go back to visit every Wednesday I can. So I go to Mason. If there's anybody at Mason that duels, please let me know. I really want to know if there's any people at Mason that duel. I can't find nobody. It's sad. But George Mason, remember that. But I faced him, and he had one of the best hero decks. And the reason I won, Visionary and Descendant. Visionary especially came out and just raked it, and I kept searching for cards, and he kept blowing up Neck of Rally. And I beat him 2-0. He tried to grand mold me, and I forced a grand mold. Ridiculous shenanigans, and I won finally. And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, how'd you win against that deck?" Because it was considered like the best deck that everybody in the major group knew about. And like, Kevin's deck did that good, and Reggie was like, "Oh my gosh," because Reggie he was the champion at last school tournament when Grid Keepers were good back in the day, and he was like giving me a high five. He's like, "Yes, yes, yes, Grid Keepers, yes, the Wrath of Merrick, the Wrath of Merrick is yes, yes, yes." Even if he did it, he was happy. I could tell. Giving me a high five. I was so happy. I was like, "Yes, I feel like I've graduated from Padawan status, kind of, the Jedi Master type thing, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm no longer a Padawan, I'm my own master." And I felt like that. Really did. And it meant a lot to me. It really did. And then we come to find out that they only have the top 4 people play. And what rank was I? Top 5. So I couldn't play in the final matches. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Kevin, you should be in there." And I should. I topped every major person in the group. The other people in the group, there was besides one guy, nobody knew who the other people were ever. We're like, who the heck are these guys? One guy ran Dark Worlds, one guy ran Macro Rabbit, the other guy ran I think Medolces. Another guy ran Water. And who won? The guy with Dark World. Told you Dark Worlds are going to be good. A good Dark World player. So I was at least happy with that, because I was running Dark Worlds at the time too. So I was like at least happy with that, but still sad because I could have been there, and I just been in the top 4. I've been happy about it. Got in the top 5. My friend Will, who also was my teacher, I consider, was top 5. He's like, "I don't know how that you." He's like, "You must dang." So those are my fond memories from Yu-Gi-Oh. So what are your fond memories from the show? Just playing the game itself, having fun with friends, being at a big tournament, being at regionals, being at a YCS. What are your memories? What are your fond memories? They could be recent or they could be old. So please let me know, and thank you, and take care, everybody.